Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 77, we finally get the backstory of Bardock and the invasion of planet Cereal 40 years ago. In this manga chapter, Goku finally learns of his father Bardock, and it appears that Vegeta knew of Bardock the entire time, and for whatever reason never told Goku about him. I understand that the Saiyans, they don't really have the same family bonds that humans do, but you would think that at some point when Goku and Vegeta are training in the Room of Spirit and Time, or at some point, he would mention Goku's father and mention his name. In any case, Vegeta knew of the name Bardock, and when the Namek Manito dropped the name Bardock, Vegeta knew that that was Goku's father. So on the night of a full moon 40 years ago, some ships arrived at the planet, and the Great Apes invaded. They killed off plenty of Cerealians and Namekians who were living together in peace, and one of the Namekian elders gives Manito the 2 Dragon Balls of the planet. The Saiyans continue destroying the city of the Cerealians, but one of the Saiyans with a scar on his face watches a child running away and follows him. The Saiyan, Bardock, follows the child into a church. There he finds Granola and his mother. When Granola sees the giant ape, he faints from fear. The Cerealians realize that the Saiyans transform thanks to the moon, so one of them concentrates all of his energy and destroys it. So the Cerealians are very, very powerful, kind of like the Namekians, able to destroy the moon. However, we saw Piccolo do that in the Saiyan saga, so their power levels easily could be in the areas of 1 to 2,000, potentially putting up a good fight against the Saiyans, you would think. So there are Cerealians that are moon level. The Cerealians' attack destroys the moon, and the Saiyans return to their normal form. The Saiyans are going on a rampage, but there is also other members of Frieza's force. We got a awesome throwback here of Crambo and the other guy who had like the turtle head from the original Bardock special. So they're here on the planet as well, messing things up, and that was a nice little throwback from Toyotaro. So back here at the church, we see Bardock enter where Granola's mom, Muesli, which is a cereal by the way, is protecting Granola from Bardock. And when she sees Bardock, she fires a blast at him, which grazes him on the shoulder and blows off a piece of his armor. Now as she does this, Bardock has a flashback where he was having an argument with Jean, Goku's mom. And this is when Bardock gave the name of Kakarot to his son. When he did this, Jean hugged the incubator, acknowledging the name of Kakarot. So back at the church, Bardock watches Granola and his mother, and one of the Saiyans, Leek, arrives to inform Bardock that the mission is over and they should retreat. Leek doesn't enter the church, so he can't see Granola and his mother, so Bardock tells Leek he will go later because he's going to make sure there's no survivors. So Bardock puts on his scouter and he detects a life form with 5 power level out in the mountains, and there he finds Manito and the 2 hidden Dragon Balls. When Bardock and Manito bump into each other, Manito's power level increases to 213 and he attacks Bardock, but it doesn't really do anything. So he's pretty surprised that Manito is able to control his power level at will. So because Granola reminds Bardock of his brand new child, Kakarot, and Muesli, Granola's mom, I guess kind of reminds him of his wife, Jean, he decides to protect and save them. He tells them that they have to hide because Frieza is arriving. So after listening to this story, it becomes apparent that Goku inherited kindness from his father. He was a unique Saiyan, I don't know if it's in the DNA or something like that, maybe it's some sort of mutation, that instead of being a merciless killing machine, these Saiyans, Goku and Bardock and their lineage, have a kindness level and a willingness to protect people. And some fans are a little bit disappointed in this because it completely contradicts the whole Goku bumping his head when he's a child and it erasing his Saiyan merciless instinct. Instead, now we are changing the story so that Goku is just inherently good, a trait that he got from his father. So Manito continues the story about how and why Muesli, Granola's mother, didn't survive. And this is because the Heeters were actually on planet Cereal at this specific time. Elec wants to sell planet Cereal to the Sugarjins for 100 billion units, and he says that he's going to give Frieza only 1/10 of that because he wants to beat Frieza with money and control and influence. So Granola wakes up and he makes a noise, he freaks out, he sees Bardock and a Saiyan, and when he makes the noise, it alerts the Heeters. But it's too late. Manito puts Granola back to sleep, but it's too late, and now the Heeters are going to confront Bardock. Elec asks Bardock who he is, and Bardock tells him that he found those survivors and that he's going to kill them, but Elec tells him to do it right now, and Bardock doesn't attack them. Bardock tells Elec that the Namekians have mysterious power and they should check it out before killing off the Namekians. Namekians. Suddenly, Elec pulls out a gun and shoots, and he kills Musali, Granola's mother. Elec tells Bardock that he is fine with the Namekian, but the other two must be killed as soon as possible. So Bardock angrily attacks the Heeter force, but Gas creates a protective barrier to stop Bardock's attack. Now there's a smoke screen, and Bardock takes advantage of that to escape. So this is very interesting nugget of information, because the Heeters were around on Planet Serial all those years ago, and now with Granola learning about this, he's obviously going to want to attack the Heeters. He's gonna realize that they're the ones that killed his mother, especially Elec. And while Frieza may have made the order to invade Planet Serial and kill off all of his people, it was Elec himself who actually killed Granola's mother. And that's going to be the main catalyst for him to just go berserk and want to fight Elec right now. Now, my question is, Manito must have known that Granola was making deals with the Heeters, and I'm very surprised that at no point Manito told Granola this story. It doesn't really make too much sense to me. Maybe we'll have to wait for the full chapter, but it doesn't look like in all this summary or pages there's any reason why Manito would have kept this information from Granola. You'd think that that's critically important information. Maybe he didn't want Granola to go attack the Heeters and die, which probably would have happened because it seemed like they were way stronger than him from their first encounter, but maybe now he's telling Granola because Granola is the strongest in the universe and he's strong enough to take out the Heeters by himself. Meanwhile, Elec is extremely angry because Bardock escaped with Granola and the Namekian, and Gas says not to worry because Gas will take care of them, so they should go and prepare to welcome Frieza. Elec tells Gas to finish before Frieza arrives, and so Gas flies away. And that's the end of the flashback, because now we're going to go over to present day Elec and Gas, who are remembering what happened 40 years ago and talking about the guy they fought, the Cloaked Warrior, which is actually Bardock. Gas tells Elec that he remembers it and that it will not happen again. Gas says he's much stronger now, and Elec agrees. Elec then takes out one of the Dragon Balls and says, well, we have this just in case. Meanwhile, the other Heeters are going for the second Dragon Ball. So it appears to me that Granola may get in a fight with Gas and the rest of the Heeters before they make their wish. It seems like Elec is holding on to the Dragon Balls as a sort of insurance in case Granola and the Saiyans are too strong for Gas, which they undoubtedly will be. So the next chapter, we very well may get Goku, Vegeta, and Granola having to rest up. They just had this crazy battle for like 5 chapters, so they're probably going to need to rest up before they can take on the Heeters, but Granola, hearing all of this, may just want to go after them right now, and if he knows they're on Planet Serial at that moment, he just might dart off and chase after them. Goku and Vegeta still do have one Senzu Bean. Maybe they give that to Granola, or maybe they split it for themselves, but I think the next fight obviously is going to be Granola versus Gas, and I think that eventually Elec will wish to be the new strongest and become the ultimate villain of this arc. Interestingly, Goku doesn't really care too much about his father. When he's told that his father's name is Bardock and he starts to learn about him, he just has this kind of dumbfounded look on his face. Again, it's in the Saiyan's nature not to care too much about family. Goku obviously does care about his family, but he didn't really seem to make too big of a deal about learning about his father. Maybe we'll get some more pages and some more descriptions as we get the full chapter to come out in a day or two. But I'd really like to see more about Goku being curious about his father. I know it's very against the Saiyan way, but he does want to protect his own family, so does Vegeta. So even though the whole family thing isn't inherent in the Saiyan characteristics, now that they're like kind of Earthlings, Goku and Vegeta do care about their family. I mean, Vegeta agrees to fuse because he wants to protect Bulma and his kids. So even Vegeta is going against his Saiyan nature. You would think that Goku, who grew up an Earthling, would want to know more about his father Bardock. I'd really like for that new wish with the Dragon Balls to resurrect Bardock, but I don't think it's going to happen. But boy, if they did that in Dragon Ball Super, fans would go absolutely nuts. Imagine if Bardock rejoined the crew. Man, fans would lose it. I don't think that they're going to do that, but you know, there's always hope. I'm Mastar. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon for the full chapter review.